Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 91 of the Showbound podcast. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, here as always with Ethan Cardwell. Cards, how's it going, man? Been a while.
Yeah, I was just about to say it has been a while, so I don't know. It feels good to be back on the air. But yeah, no, it was definitely like I feel like we kind of didn't plan the break for the episodes, but I feel like it was kind of like much needed for both of us. Obviously, we had our Christmases, and we can catch up a little bit on that. So, how was your Christmas?
Well, my Christmas and my Hanukkah was great.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, like I didn't really, all it was really was just like um Christmas, like it was just like a lot of food. It was just like dinners and stuff with like my girlfriend and her family and like
So, do
breakfast,
you
lunch.
celebrate Christmas at all?
Well, I don't with my family, but I did with my girlfriend and her family.
Right, right. Okay.
No, I got some sweet gifts and stuff. Dished out a lot of cash on some gifts as well. It goes both ways, you know how it is. So, how about you? How was your Christmas?
Yeah, actually, to kind of go on your point, I feel like there's no better feeling than like buying someone like who means a lot to you, like something really nice, like whether it be your parents, girlfriend, whatever it may be. Like I feel like there's way more satisfaction in giving a really nice, sick gift that you know they're gonna love, rather like obviously it's a beautiful, like amazing to take gifts, but like to give that. So yeah, I know what you're saying there. But yeah,
But
no,
I
like
wait to cut you off, like and even build off that even more. Like I agree, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel like a lot of people do, but sometimes I feel like guilty getting a gift. Like if you get a big gift, do you ever feel guilty?
yeah,
Like
I'm
you're
like, man,
spending
you
all
just
this money on me or whatever. Like you ever like that type of thing? It's just like save it. Like I don't know.
yeah, no, I definitely feel that way. And like, I feel bad for the person who's buying, but like realistically, I don't know. What goes around comes around. I'm a believer in that. So you give somebody a nice gift, good things will come whatever way they may come for you. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, I know what you're saying. Um, yeah, my Christmas, as you know, went to Vegas. So that was sweet. Got to see Logan Thompson play one game. I went to two Vegas Golden Knights games. Got to see a David Copperfield magic show, Cirque du Soleil. Um, there's a bunch of other things too. Yeah, oh, I hit Top Golf up. Um, so like I was there for like 5 days, but it was crazy, man. Like so, like time flies when you're there because you're always doing something, and like you're never in the hotel room laying around and stuff like that. And just to walk up and down the strip, go to Old Vegas, do all those things, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it looked cool. And um was this thing planned or was it just kind of spontaneous? Because I didn't even know you were gonna go.
Yeah, man. Like, so basically, my parents just texted me like a few days before, and they're like, "Hey, um, don't tell your brother yet, but we're gonna be going to Vegas like the day after your break." So I'm like, "Oh, sweet! Like, this is awesome." So then, yeah, sure enough, like the day or 2 days, or a few days before, we all got on a FaceTime call while I was still in Barrie. My parents were like, "Yeah, 19th. As soon as Ethan gets back, we're packing up, we're going." So we did that, and yeah, no, it's kind of a spur of the moment thing, a little Christmas present for my parents, little surprise for us, and no, it ended up great. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. And we gotta shout out Logan Thompson while you mention him. NHL All-Star. Like, how
Right,
crazy is that?
man, like just to see all these tweets from coming from U Sports to now in NHL All Star, like his path of trajectory still hasn't flatlined at all. Like the guy's just going to the moon. So you called it. You made an early Vesna call. Things are shaping up very well for you there. I like it. I really like it now that he's in the All Star game. So time will tell.
Yeah, I made the Vesna and Rookie of the Year call on him, and I saw he was like second in Rookie of the Year voting. So he's in the mix.
Dude, you should have placed a little bit of money on that.
I know.
That would have been
Oh, that would have been a good parlay.
like yeah, the Vesna especially, that would have been craziness.
Yeah, now it's like almost too late because he has good odds.
Oh
Like,
yeah, he's the man. No,
yeah. Anyway, let's keep it rolling. But yeah, I mean the break was good, and yeah, the episode break, it was nice to take to get away from all the hockey throughout the break and just like enjoy the time off, especially because our break was nice and long. So,
yeah.
but now we're back in the swing of things. We got a road trip coming out this weekend. Actually, we got 2 nights in Windsor, taking on the Windsor Lancers. So. They're like they're in the top 10 in the country actually as well. So it's going to be like a big matchup for the way our playoff kind of structure is starting to look. And it's getting into that football season feel where now like every game you jump around so much in the standings with like the amount of games and stuff like that. So it's each game feels kind of like playoffs.
Yeah, I guess yeah, for you guys, like there's no nights off. You kind of have to win now. And I was talking to a few of my buddies, obviously, as you know, we were playing in U Sports and stuff like that, and they were saying like, yeah, second half, there's no like, hey, Christmas second half, like dial it in, like you got to be dialed all year, and then once the Christmas break's over, it's like, okay, we got the final stretch here before playoffs, and we don't win, we're done.
Yeah. I mean, we have 10 games left until playoffs, man.
Yeah,
We're
that's
like
great,
that
man.
close.
Yeah, I still got 34 or something like that, and you guys only got 10. That's actually wild, but
Yeah.
I guess.
So, I mean, it's Tuesday night as we record this. Tuesday at 12 was the OHL trade deadline. We saw a couple moves go down, like Shane Wright, but we'll talk about before that some Barry stuff. Barry made some moves, picking up Braden Hashe, who's an NHL drafted defenseman. Brant Clark, an NHL defenseman, coming back. So,
Hmm.
what's up in Barry? Fill us all in.
Yeah, actually, I got a new roommate too. So you missed one of the other uh, newest players of the Colts, Tyler Savard, son of Mark Savard and coach of the
Mm-hmm.
Spits, and Savvy came from the Sioux, so he's having a great year. He was a point per game up there, so a good pickup for us. A guy who plays with a lot of grit, leading the league in PIMS actually, I think, and
Oh yeah, and he's on your line too. I saw.
yeah, yeah. So it's been good so far. Getting him acquainted to the new house and stuff like that. So it's fun. Always nice to have a roommate, a good guy too. So it's made everything real nice. And then, like you said, getting Clarkey back, you get a top notch defender back like that, and sky's the limit. I mean, he's going to be logging a lot of minutes a night and just only helping our team, especially on the offensive side of things. I mean, we all know what he can do with the puck. We just saw it in the World Juniors and stuff like that. So to be able to bring that back to our blue line is something pretty special, and we're lucky to have him back. And then another big addition in the Hache trade. I mean, you get a guy who's solid on the blue line, good defensively, takes care of things, and is tough and big and plays physical. You can't really complain about that in the OHL. So I think there's not a lot of D who kind of play his style anymore, and I think now we got two of them in Connor Punnett and him. So we're really excited for that. And yeah, like you look at our D core now, I wouldn't take any other D core in the league for sure. I think we got one of the best, and I'm really excited about it. So although we may not have landed the big fish, I think all of these pieces add up, and sometimes the pieces you accumulate to make your team better actually pay off more than spending a million picks and players just to go out and get one player. I think character goes a long way.
Yeah, so like you said, the big fish, Shane Wright to Windsor. Um, it was a big trade. Like, what are your thoughts on basically Windsor and Shane Wright and all that coming back to the OHL? Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it was wild, man. Like I think a lot of people knew Wright was going to come back to the OHL, but it was more like a matter of okay, obviously it's not going to be Kingston. Where is it going to be? And then I think every team in the league, well, every team who's like competitive this year had that like hope. Okay, we're gonna get right this week, and you see Twitter start to blow up, and especially with our team too. Like there was a lot of rumors and stuff on Twitter, like Shane Wright close with a Barry and stuff like that, or London, and it's all speculation until it's a done deal. So it was a wild, like speaking from my perspective, just thinking about his perspective is actually crazy because I was in a whirlwind trying to figure out where he was going. I can only imagine he's like, oh, okay, I'm going here. Nope, never mind, never mind. So I'm sure he's happy to get a deal done somewhere. And that's a big pickup for Windsor, a team that's already gotten a few real good pieces in Harrison and Holmes and a few guys from Niagara to add a guy like Shane Wright onto a already stellar offensive team. I think that'll definitely take them a long way.
And you see, like, they obviously went to the OHL final last year, all the way to game 7. They were right there. And a lot of those guys have that taste in their mouth still, and like they want it. Like, and sometimes like they're a good team, but they probably want it more than anybody. I would guess. I mean, I know everybody wants it, but dude, like to get that close and not get it. So I think they're playing with a little extra something. So we'll see how that goes. But what else is up in the OHL before we move on? I want to talk some World Juniors.
Well, let's talk quickly about the Minchikov trade. So one of the biggest prospects in the OHL right now, arguably the best D in the league. Well, Clarkie's back now, so gotta say Clark. That yeah, he went for 3 seconds, 4 thirds, and 2/4, I think, something like that.
Sounds right. It was a bunch of picks.
Yeah, 9 draft picks total, but to Ottawa. So Ottawa picks up him. What are your thoughts on that deal?
Yeah, I mean he's sick. I've seen a bunch of stuff, like clips and highlights of him on Twitter, like floating around, and um, I saw. I mean, with Ottawa picking him up, there's like 8 teams in the OHL that are like actually going for it, 4 from each side. Did you see that?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of teams going for it. And then if you look at it too, like teams that maybe didn't go all in are right there too. Like it's going to be a very competitive playoff, especially in the West too. Like I see, I'm pretty sure 5 teams from the West are in like all in, and one of them is going to be out in the first round just because that's how the math works. So
Yeah.
it's it's a crazy league, and that's why people give up and make these blockbuster trades and stuff. But I feel like if the team feels like now is their time, then you kind of got to do it, I guess.
Yeah, well, honestly, as far as I can really think back in the OHL, watching it and following it, this might be the most teams I've ever seen kind of going for it in the same year. I think that this might be like the most entertaining playoffs ever. And I was just talking about this in the ring today at practice. There's so many teams going for it. The second round playoffs is going to be such high quality. Like these top teams are going to get knocked off. It'll be crazy, man.
It'll be second round playoffs. There will be 8 teams left, and all 8 teams will have a very good chance at winning the OHL championship this year. And
Yeah.
I think you look at a team like Kitchener, and this goes to show you if you feel like it's your year, you go all in. They're in 9th place right now with a below 500 record, and they just kept adding at the deadline. So that's crazy too. Like
Yeah.
those trends will be interesting to watch after the deadline. The dust is settled. Everyone has their team now. So it'll be very interesting to see who starts to trend upwards, which teams plateau, and which teams fall off. It'll be, I always like to watch that after the deadline. But no, it was definitely an exciting deadline. And like you said, it setting up for a real good quality hockey in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm pumped to watch it. And I guess I have to ask you, you're now you know officially you're finishing your OHL career as a Colt. So was there ever any doubt? Were you on the move ever? Like any of those conversations, or like how did the deadline play out for you?
No, it was pretty quiet for me. Um, I think I've had so much, like I've spent so much time now in Barrie, been invested here, and I feel like it's only fitting to finish my career in Barrie, and only fitting to finish with this group of guys. We got a great group in that locker room, so not for a minute did I ever want to leave or anything like that. So it was, and then I'm hoping, but I'm assuming they wanted me around too, and obviously they did. So it worked out well in both ways. And yeah, no, I never heard a single whisper even about me. So that was nice because I know some deadlines, and I learned that when I was younger too, can be a little bit more stressful. So pretty easygoing one for myself personally. And I was just excited that we've got the new guys that we have.
Yeah, okay. Now let's take it into some World Juniors, but actually before we do, let's tee up our guest. We you can tell by the title of this already, but we got Mavrik Bourque on, who's playing in the AHL for the Texas Stars. He's a first round pick of the Dallas Stars. Won the QMJHL championship last year with Shawinigan as the captain there. Tore it up with like an insane number of points.
Over two
Yeah,
points per game in the queue.
yeah, over 2 points per game in the queue, just nuts. So, it was a good interview with him. It was really cool having him on, and he actually played with Cardsy briefly in the summer or something, U17s or whatever. We'll get into that though later on, and that's an interview to look forward to. So we'll get that. All right, we'll talk a little World Juniors, and obviously Canada won gold. So overall, I guess Cards overall thoughts on what went down the Bedard show.
Yeah, it was the Bedard show, as Coach Shippey would say. I was watching videos throughout that, man. I was just crying, and it's just like hilarious. But to think about what Connor Bedard did over the course of the World Juniors is mind blowing. Like, I can't even process how that happened. Like, this is against the best players in the world from their countries, all their age. And mind you, he's only 17 still. So to see the comparison of stats too from underagers in years previous to him, his stats, like, it's ridiculous. Like, this guy's going to be a surefire superstar in the NHL, which we already knew. But just to watch his release and stuff like that, and kind of see the backlash maybe he was getting after game one, and then to just fire the boys up. He got 13 points in 2 games in the next two. Just an absolute clinic from him. And it was good to see Canada win. Obviously, being an Ontario boy, got few guys that I knew on that team and stuff. So it's always easy to root for your friends, and good to see like Clarkey get the gold there, especially after not being on the team last year. And I know he was pretty disappointed about that. So to be able to get a gold this time around is pretty special for him. And yeah, let's take a peek at how many Showbound alum won there. How many
Okay.
was there? We
Well, we
had
got Brennan Othman, Brant Clark, um, Goudreau, three.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm trying to think if there's any more.
anyone else? Now I'm drawing a blank. I think that there might have been one more or not.
I don't know. I felt like we had more from last year's team,
Yeah, we had a
but
ton on last year's team.
yeah, either way, we're definitely going to be getting you a World Junior guest here soon, so we could talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Uh,
a couple, I think, from the sounds of it.
yeah, yeah, and recap the whole World Juniors with them and stuff. But no, I thought it was a great tournament. I thought Czechs played amazing. Czechia, um, to see them kind of as a country who's always an underdog, to see them accomplish what they did and even push to overtime in the finals was absolutely incredible. So I thought it was a great tournament overall. Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just thinking the fans, man. How sick were the fans in Halifax? Like, and Moncton too, but in Halifax in those final and semifinal games, I'm just thinking, oh, they were just chanting the whole time. It was so cool. But I also agree with what you said about Czechia, and you see in the photos after the game, not when they were on the ice, more so in the locker room, they were actually smiling, like taking pictures with their silver medals and stuff. You know, right away for them, it was an accomplishment. Whereas a lot of the time, when you see the silver medal team, they're pretty upset, like they don't want to be taking those photos in the room or whatever. But these guys were posting them; they're proud, and it is a big accomplishment at the end of the day, especially for them who nobody really, not a lot of people expected them to get there. I'm sure they did themselves, but a lot of people were kind of thinking Finland, USA, Sweden were in the mix to be in the finals, and a lot of people counted them out. So it's cool. That's what grows the game. Um, Another thing that's growing the game. I don't know if you've seen this, but the Team Ukraine U25 has been taking on Canadian universities. Uh,
How are they making out? I've seen a few clips. Like, I'm wondering how they stack up.
they actually got their first win yesterday against
Against
them.
Manitoba?
Yeah, Manitoba in the Canada Life Center where the Winnipeg Jets play in front of like 10,000 people or something. Like it was a huge crowd. Um, and they're playing in the university games or whatever, the FISU games. I don't know what FISU stands for, but it's like the university games in Lake Placid, which start today, I believe. Um, and your boy Bowlers is on Team Canada actually for hockey.
Okay.
So a couple guys there. And anyway, but it was cool. And their president of hockey or whatever the title was from Ukraine came out and said Canada's been a huge supporter of the Ukraine hockey, and allowing them to do this has been really cool. And some of their guys are playing in like the USHL, and there was one even in U Sports already. So they have high level players. It's not just like a
Yeah.
bunch of bums. Like these guys are legit.
Yeah, they definitely do. And we have one of the most high end Ukrainian juniors that there is right now in Artur Cholak. And it's pretty cool. Like, his mom's able to come now. Like, she's here now for 2 weeks. So for him to see her after a whole year, it's something special, and it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. And we had a few Ukrainians actually sing the national anthem, both the Canadian and the Ukrainian one at our game a few days ago. People who fled the country during the hard times, and now they're settled here in Barrie. So very cool night. That night when we honored Ukraine, and then for Artie, he got the overtime winner that night too. So just a little bit of icing on the cake, and
Wow.
it was an incredible night. So just to add on to that Ukraine topic.
That's crazy. I saw he got the OT winner when you were talking about that. I was gonna ask if it was that game. That's kind of crazy that it was that game, honestly. It's
It
like
was
the one of those universe things that just made it happen.
yeah, those are
Because
the
he's not a
nights.
scorer, like right? That was his second goal of the season, I think.
Second goal of the season, only third of his career.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they're the ones where you're like, yep, somebody else had a play on this. This just didn't happen. This was meant to be.
That is pretty crazy, man. Well, um, we can send it into the interview. After the interview, we're gonna react to some videos. We got some World Juniors clips to react to. We got some Cardsy goals to react to, and then some other stuff, which will be a surprise. So stick around for that after the interview. Switch to the YouTube if you want to watch them. And if for the audio listeners, we'll do our best to describe them, but you'll hear it at the same time. But before we send it to the interview, we got a little message from our friends at Manscaped, as always. So 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year from our friends over at Manscaped. The ball has officially dropped, but that doesn't mean you have to drop the ball on your balls in 2023. Whether you had a New Year's kiss or not, the leaders in below the waist grooming have you covered for your much needed resolution of bringing sexy back. Join the 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code SHOWBOUND for 20% off and free shipping. Let us have a toast for a new year, new you, and a new you with no pubes. It's a new year, new balls with the global leaders in below the waist grooming. This year, take your package to the next level with their Performance Package 4.0 and other premium wet goods. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find the Signature Lawnmower 4.0. The advanced skin safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate parts. It also comes equipped with a 4000K LED spotlight that will shine a light to the promised land 2023 looks to be. A grooming routine isn't complete without applying Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver before showing off your 2023 self. These unique formulations take care of the smelliest part of your body and are a big boost to your confidence into the new year. To complete the set, Manscaped threw in their shed travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs as free gifts to keep all your goodies stored comfortably. If you really want to make 2023 the year to remember, make sure to try out Manscaped Wet Goods as well. This includes their ultra premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo, and body deodorant. These products are the absolute perfect follow up after your New Year's gym sessions. Cheers to new balls in 2023. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SHOWBOUND. Time to feel sexy and free this 2023 with Manscaped. All right. And let's send it over to Mavrik Bourque now. All right. We are pleased to welcome to the podcast Mavrik Bourque. Mav, how's it going, man?
Going pretty good. What about you?
All good. Before we even get into stuff, I wanted to ask you, maybe and jog my memory here, but did you play in the top prospects game and was it in Hamilton your year?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because I think I think I met you in Hamilton there. Um, I was like driving Tyson Forrester there, and we were like pretty early. We were waiting for everyone to get there, and then we came out of the elevator with Lafreniere, and you were there, and I think you didn't speak much English probably at the time, and you said like Maverick, and you just like reached your hand out. I think that was you.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, probably yeah. But at that time, I was not really good in English, so I probably just said my name and left after.
yeah. Anyway, so I thought so. I guess we did meet once then. So there we go. So good to
Yeah,
meet you. And for the listeners, you and Cardsy played together, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
a little bit like for a week, I guess, like for U17.
Yeah, we did like the U17 summer thing in the summer. It was a good time though. The boys had fun.
Yeah,
Was that the team that Hendrix Lapierre was on?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We
Are
got a
you
couple of
are,
those.
are you a Lappy buddy? Like, are you guys close?
Yeah, we chat kind of a lot, and every time we got a chance to be together, like in hockey stuff and those stuff. Like we hang out a lot, but he's like in the summer he's more like in Montreal, and I'm more like in Quebec City, so we don't see each other often. But yeah, we kind of chat sometime.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Like you're rocking the mustache goatee look. A lot of people are starting to do that now, but I never thought it was like a great look. Like
I
what's with that?
I'm with it. I love it.
I honestly had the kind of like the beard, and I just changed it like today, like last night. So we came back from the road, so I just changed it. To be honest, I just don't like having beard, so I just like this thing,
Yeah.
and I just
Maybe you
feel
think it'll get you an overtime winner, just like in the World Juniors. What's his what
uh,
I'm forgetting his name. He was rocking one too.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, man.
one.
Yeah.
You got to be
Maybe
looking the part, Rask. I don't know. I think Rask, you're trying to get to look too old and grizzled here. Just you go with this look. Maybe you'll move up a couple leagues just like that.
maybe for playoffs we switch it up. Anyway, enough facial hair talk. We don't want Cardsy to feel left out, so we
Oh
can
yeah.
we can move on. Just how's the season going so far? Like your first full year pro after you destroyed the Q last year. How's it going?
Yeah, it's getting better. Kind of like had a tough start. To be honest, I didn't really had a summer last summer with the Mem Cup and all those stuff. So it was kind of like hard for me at the start of the season. Didn't feel really in shape, and new place to live on my own, and new league too. Like HL, it's a lot different than junior. So it was a lot of adjustment, but now I feel way better, and things are starting getting changes for me right now.
hmm Yeah, and obviously the AHL is a big jump, but we'll get more into that later on. But we want to go back to like kind of the start of your whole junior career, and it starts with the QMJHL draft. And like for people who don't know, it's a little bit different. Like you guys have an in-person draft, just like like a mini NHL draft, and you went first round, third overall to Shawinigan, and it's close to your hometown there, right? So, do you want to tell us a little bit about like that day and like how excited you were that it was Shawinigan?
Yeah, so like you said, our QMJHL draft were like the mini NHL, and my QMJHL draft was in the Shawinigan. So where I got draft. So like the rink was kind of like full, and if I remember, Shikutimi had the first pick, and they end up drafting Lappy, and
Mhm.
second pick was Saint John. I remember being in the stands, and I was so nervous because I didn't want to go to Saint John at that time. I'm like the third pick is right here in Shawinigan, and so I was kind of like nervous to getting picked to Saint John, and because I didn't like, for sure I would have liked to be there, but at the same time I was like, let's go third in Shawinigan, and I finally end up there. Like I said, the draft was in Shawinigan too. Like the fans were kind of nuts in Shawi. So yeah, I finally passed my four years there, and we end up winning the President Cup. That's a thing that Shawinigan never did it in the past. So yeah, it was a hell of a run.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you guys like had a unreal team there like that year, and I think we're gonna get into it because we want to talk a little bit about that run and stuff. But um like so you're saying you don't want to go to St. John there. So like did you know like if you had go like to number 3 to Shawinigan, like it was a done deal, they were taking you for sure?
No. So, but like to just clarify the Saint John thing, like for sure I will have liked to go there, but at the same time, like I kind of like had a preference with Shawinigan, and I think
hmm
with Shawinigan it was like between me and Patrick Gay at that time, so I think it was like pretty close, but it was not like a done deal. Like I was still like nervous because I knew like it was not sure that I was going there, but um and I finally end up there, so yeah.
Yeah, things worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about upsetting any St. John fans because not to rub it in your face, but they got the last laugh, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but no, anyway, like yeah, we will get into that championship season, but I just want to talk about your rookie year in Shawinigan, and you stepped in and you had just under a point per game in your first year. I got it down here. You had 54 points in 64 games. So like How was the adjustment to that level, if any? You were so dominant as a rookie.
Yeah, my first 15 game maybe was different, but after that I kind of like step up. But my team was like really 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 bad. So I kind of like had the chance to play a lot my first year, so it helped me a lot. But we only had like 14 win and 60 something games. But in playoff we almost upset the Juan Aranda Husky, who finally won the Mem Cup that year. So it ended up well, but my first year was different. Like I was playing a lot, doing good, but the team was not doing good. But I think we learned a lot from that year.
Did you guys take him to 6 games in that series?
Yeah. So was 2-2, and the fifth game was in Shawi, and we're like up 9-0 on the shot, 1-0 on the game, and the window broke. So we end up going back in the room, only like 10 minutes left in the first. But us as a young team were like, oh, like let's go, we got this. And but the other team, like they were way much older than us, so came back on the ice and they beat us like 7-2 or something. But yeah, we brought them in 6 games that year.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
that's pretty good. But sometimes too, when you have like when your team's not like doing amazing, like it's not a bad thing for a young guy. Like, and that's why you always see this
Yeah.
like in junior hockey, teams like load up and then they're young guys. That's how they get good, and then they get traded eventually and stuff like that. But want to talk about your draft year. So your second year in the league, and you put up 71 points in 49 games, which is really, really good. And ended up going first round to the Dallas Stars. So like, do you want to talk about that season? Obviously you had success as a rookie, but to kind of like pop off like that in your second year, um, how did it feel? And like, what did you do to like get better, or was it just maturity and stuff?
I think it was a little bit of both. Like I remember I had like a really good summer that summer. And I think as a team we step up a lot. Like we were like 14 win in my first year, and after that we were kind of like top 10 in the league. So we had so much fun that year. A lot of young guys were like just kind of like just explode. Me and Borgo had a fantastic year at 17 too. So it was a lot of fun, and for sure draft year is kind of like more pressure. But I just felt like everything was working for me. Especially at the start of the year, I think I had like 17 goal or something in like 20 games. So everything I was touching was going in the net. So I don't think was able to complain at that time. I went to Subway Series, top prospect game. So that was just before COVID. I ended up being injured by the end before COVID, but um, I think it was like probably my favorite season in junior.
Yeah, definitely. And it obviously went well for you in the end at the NHL draft and stuff. But going through that season and kind of obviously you're having an amazing season, and you're seeing yourself in all these rankings, and you're getting the promote, you like you're going to the top prospect games, and you're hearing, oh, maybe you could go here, maybe you could go there. Like, how did you kind of deal with the expectations and like the pressure of the draft?
For sure, sometime I was high, but sometime like I had a couple of low too. I do remember after the prospect game, I had to play and Shikutimi like the next day, and I was sitting in a plane like imagining myself like already in the NHL, and I had to play that game that night, and I play like really really bad. But like sometime like at 17 when you're that young, it's hard to like stay in the present moment, and I think like so I had to talk a lot with my coach. I had a really good coach. I think you maybe remember him, Daniel Renault. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah.
So he was my coach in junior, and he was a guy who like talked to me a lot during that time. And sometimes like coach preferred to stay away from players, but he was a guy who like was really close to the players. So he helped me a lot to like stay focused and don't push too much pressure on myself, because I'm a guy to like sometimes maybe put a little bit too much on me. So sometimes was just there to talk, and like not even about hockey and just about life. So it helped me a lot that year.
Yeah, it's nice to have an outlet like that, and it's good advice for the kids growing up. Don't put too much pressure on yourselves, and and things will kind of find you on their own. But talk about the NHL draft a little bit. Obviously, it was during COVID, so it was virtual. But what did you do that day? And you want to tell us a bit about the moment you were picked by the Stars?
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because I had to play some exhibition game before being drafted. So I do remember like that year, like I was playing exhibition game against Chicoutimi, and Chicoutimi had Mercer and Lapierre, and like we had no fans, so it was like my first exhibition game in like 4 months. And exhibition game in junior, it's not really good.
No,
And
it's a
we had no
mess.
fans. We had no fans, and but we had like probably like 50 scout in the stand, like all the head scout, maybe some GM. I don't know. I was so stressed for only an exhibition game. Ended up playing like really bad, and after that was my draft. So but I don't know if it really affected. But I went to my draft like just with my family at home. Um, like it was kind of like bad that we didn't have the chance to go to Montreal, but ended up pretty well. I had no clue before the draft where I was going to go, and I finally end up in Dallas. I didn't really look at my cell phone during the draft, and like 4 minutes before the pick, I saw a text on my cell phone saying like welcome to the team, but I was not sure if it was Dallas at 30 or San Jose at 31.
Oh, he didn't say which team he was texting you from.
Oh, I can't remember which number it was. Just said like welcome to the team. I'm like, I'm just because like they kind of like behind the scene, like they kind of like say like which guy is going one pick before. So I'm like, which one is it? So I was probably Dallas, but I was not sure, so I had to wait, and finally I end up in Dallas.
That's pretty cool though. Like that, then there's like major suspense on the line. You're like, okay, I at least I'm happy. Like I know I'm going one of these picks, but I don't know which one it's gonna be. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That's actually funny.
Wow. Well, especially because it was a late first round pick. So were you sitting there like I'm not gonna get drafted in the first round? Like, are you starting to doubt yourself? Like, now got to sit through another night. Like, were you thinking those thoughts? Be honest.
Uh, to be honest, not really. Like I kind of like had the feeling I was going first round, but I did not really realize it because I just felt like after the 16 pick, like where Montreal was, I just felt like it went so fast, so you don't really realize it. But I don't know. I never really think about it. I was pretty sure I was going first round. Um, and the next morning when I woke up, I was kind of like pretty happy that I didn't have to sit again in front of my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you have to get all? Is that the one where they sent all the hats like of
yeah,
the teams? So did you get like
yeah,
31 or 32 hats?
yeah. I still like have like probably half of it in my room.
That's pretty cool, I guess. But I can't. Yeah, that's crazy. They had to do that, and then the guys who were like the fringe first rounders that didn't end up making it, maybe they went second round. They get all the hats and they don't even have to wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, legit.
that's pretty interesting. Anyway, I mean, moving into like your next year, the next year in the Q, you split it like QMJHL and AHL, but you were also named captain of Shawinigan, right?
Yeah.
How did you find out that you were the captain? Did they just tell you like in the coach room, or did they do like a cool surprise thing?
No, they just so my third year was COVID, and my team was living all in the same building. My team bought like a big building where we can live all together, don't spread COVID. So they just send up like texting me come downstairs, and I just met the coach and GM, and they told me I was gonna be captain that year.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the things that Max was telling me to ask. He wanted to ask, um, what was it like living with your coaches and GM?
Yeah, so the GM was not living with us, so my GM
Okay.
was like, and the coach has like his kind of like own apartment in the same building. So we like didn't really see the coach like just at the rink, but like when he was in the building, like we were not able to tell if he was there or not. So it was not like they were there every day, but it was kind of like hard to live with like all your teammate like all year long. Like you kind of like get bored a little bit. You kind of like have your in a team. You kind of like have your closest friend, and like, but at that time, like younger guys were like seeing that the older guys were like more together, but they kind of like didn't really understand at that time that this is all it is like in junior hockey. So kind of like put some outside stuff in the team that was bringing to the ring. So was not, I think, the best for us.
Mhm.
Well, so let me ask you this. You're the captain of the team and the leader of the team. So how do you like that kind of falls on onto you a little bit, like the dynamics of the team. Like what did you do about that?
Yeah, well, it was kind of like pretty hard, especially like at 18. I feel like in junior hockey, it's more like a 19, 20 years old thing. And at 18, I just felt like I had the 19 years old were older than me and 20 years old were older than me. So it was kind of hard to deal like in my first captain year, and especially with this thing, like some stuff that happened like away from the ring that usually don't happen in a season because you're all in your billet, and if you want to do some stuff, you normally don't invite 24 guys to just watch something in your billet. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was kind of hard, and I learned a lot from that year. But it's not a year that I would like to do again.
That's
Yeah.
actually crazy though, because I can imagine like sometimes like even if you're on like a 7-8 day road trip or something like that, you start to get sick of the guys at a certain point. I can only imagine living with each other for months on end. You'd just be so on each other's nerves and stuff like that. So yeah, that'd be really hard to deal with, especially as a 18-year-old kid. You're just drafted, you're trying to worry about your game. Now you got to deal with like you're basically the father of
Yeah,
24 other guys in a room, like in a place. That's nuts. So
and like end up being like two of my good friend who were like 19, and like they are a really good guy, and but they were like kind of like the two guy who like were trying to like put respect in that kind of like big house, and trying to just make sure everything's fine. But like some rookie were like kind of like felt like those two guys were kind of like bit, but at the same time like they did what they have to do at that time, and they were like two really really good guys. So it was kind of like bad that end up like on those two guys, but they had to like put some order in that house.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like The Bachelor, man. Like at the end of the day, like your job doesn't end at the rink. Like you're going home and you're still
Yeah, like
having
you,
a
you eat dinner like every night, and your teammates still there. Like you probably all love your teammate, but like not being 24/7 with them.
Hmm.
yeah. It's that's pretty interesting to hear about. But anyway, like moving forward from there, I guess you got some time in the AHL that season with Texas. You got 5 points in 6 games there. So can you just tell us about that first taste of pro hockey that you got that season?
Yeah, so that year we had a good team. We made some trade to go for it, and we end up being upset in the first round. So after that, I went to finish the year in Texas, and just felt like the league was not as good as what it is right now with the taxi squad. At that time, like every team were missing like probably 4 or 5 forward, 2 3 D-men. So but what was nice to like get a touch on the pro, and I kind of like it was my first experience there. I didn't went to the training camp at 18, so kind of like start knowing like each other, and the coaching staff down here. After that, I went to Dallas for like a week, so kind of like prepare me well for like my first pro camp after that at 19.
Hmm. And I want to jump into last season, your championship season in Shawinigan. So obviously pretty cool for you being the captain, being close by, team that drafted you and everything like that. And you had a crazy good year with over 2 points a game, with 68 and 31 games played, which is like absolutely ridiculous for anybody who doesn't know stats if you can't figure that one out. And then adding on another 25 and 16 games during the playoffs as well. So you want to just quickly talk about like that season and like kind of just like you're piling on points every night, like what's going through your head?
Yeah, so if you look at the stats and like championship, like my season look really good, but it ended up like being one of the hardest season I think I played, because I got injured like 3 times. Went to World Junior got canceled So mentally it was like pretty hard, like missed like a month, more than a month before Christmas, and a month and a half after Christmas. So that's why I ended up only playing 30 game. But when I was playing really good. My team was really really good. So and after that in playoff, it's where I kind of like enjoy like being back on the ice with all the injury I had to deal with. And like the playoff one run was just amazing. I don't think we had the best team on paper in playoff, but like my team was just so close. Like boys were just out there, and like our third line were like probably two like 17 years old who like didn't I don't think they scored one goal in the playoff, but like they were just too good defensively. Like they were just enjoying like playing defense and stuff like that. So I think that's why we won. And we had some older guys on defense like overager who were like really tough, and we had some younger guys who were like on the first PP moving the puck. So it was a good mix. We had two really good goalies. So it ended up pretty well. We beat the Gatineau was like fourth in the standing, Quebec was first, and Charlottetown was second. So we ended up beating like a lot of good team. And it's a year I will remember, especially the playoff run and the Mem Cup.
Yeah, and you talk about a team gelling, and yeah, it doesn't take the best team on paper and stuff like that. And I love what you said about those third line guys. Like once you have guys that are buying into like what their role is and not worried about getting points and all that stuff, if you have guys that say, okay, I don't really care if I score, but if I keep goals out, I'm doing my job. So no wonder you guys had so much success. And I want to know too about the Memorial Cup experience. Obviously not the way you guys wanted it to go, but you played well, 7 points in 4 games, and you just talk about that quickly.
Yeah, so Mem Cup, I just felt like our team was like really, really tired from the playoff run. We were like kind of like banged up too at the same time. I guess it was the same thing for every team, but I think we just gave everything. Nobody was putting us like at the Mem Cup. Even at the Mem Cup, everybody was putting us underdog, and we ended up beating Edmonton, Hamilton one time, and losing in OT against Hamilton was like a really really good team. So no, we knew it was kind of like our last moment as a junior player, and we really enjoyed it.
And it looked like you guys had an amazing parade and a big championship party when you guys won. So do you want to talk about like that time after you guys won in the celebration?
Yeah, so we were playing in Charlottetown, and we we thought we were sleeping there. But we were playing at 5 in Charlottetown, so it was 4 in Shawinigan. And after the game, we won, and we were on the ice, and our GM said, "Yeah, boys, we'll go back home." And at first, like a couple of guys were kind of like pissed. We are like what the fuck? Like we were gonna go sleep at like 3 when we'll be back. And but we didn't realize it was like only like 7 at night back home. So by the time we fly, we arrive back home like in at like probably 11, and like the airport was like packed. Like I never saw. Like was just amazing. Getting out of the plane like with the cup, and like all the fans, our parents were there. And we went to my GM at like a little place where we can go, and we end up like being like probably like 100 people max, like just close friends, family, billet. And it ended up like 7 8 in the morning. Every guys were drunk, and we had a, I think it was one of my best night of my life, like just being with the boys, when you work so hard. And especially my team, like we had like 5 guys at 16 who were draft like at this place, and ended up like there. It was nice. And yeah, like partying with the GM, coach, and billet, like it's not the stuff that you used to do like in during a season or in your junior, except when you won. So it was real fun.
Yeah, that's a cool experience. Yeah, it's nice to kind of because you have such a relationship with like your coaches and your GM and your billets, and it's all different relationships. But
Yeah.
like when you win something, everyone comes together and parties. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It is cool. And the pictures and videos that I saw, like we're gonna throw it in a clip and post it. We have to, like, it looked sick. And I know the clip you're talking about at the airport. I have it on my phone ready to go already. It looked sick, man. Like I can't even imagine, especially like you said, because Shawinigan's never won before. They've won the Mem Cup, but they hosted.
Yeah.
And so it must have just been crazy for their fans who are so passionate. But anyway, like we kind of touched on earlier, you're in your first year pro now in Texas, having a good season so far. I'm just curious, heading into your first year of full year pro, like did you do anything differently in the off season to kind of prepare for this?
Um, no, not really. I just felt like I had like 6 weeks of workout during the summer. I just felt like my body was so banged up at the end of the season. Like some wrist, knee, head. Like I got sick after the Mem Cup, so my 2 week off were not like was not a really good time to rest. And after that, I was pushing like maybe too fast for a workout because I was like I'm gonna be late for training camp, and I ended up being at training camp like mentally I was not really there and not ready physically, and I didn't really have a had a good training camp, and I knew I was way better than that, but I was not able to figure it out. Like sometimes like you want to make plays, but like when you feel like your body can make it, like I didn't have like the strike I used to have like with my skating and stuff like that. So for me, it was kind of like hard, and I started the season like really average. Didn't really put points on the board. Was not playing that good. Ended up being like scratch for my first time, and was fine because like you can figure it out by yourself when you know you're playing good enough to sit in the lineup or not. And got moved to the right wing before Christmas, a position that I never played before. So it was a lot different to living by myself, like I said before. But I just feel like since Christmas, I feel like a different player. I just feel like my energy is back. Mentally, I feel good. Like my body, like never felt my body that good since a while. So it's fun, and I kind of like enjoy playing the game again. Just having really a lot of fun right now, just being on the road, back home, playing games, and the fun I used to have in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge adjustment going into pro, especially living on your own, like all away from the rink. There's all that adjustment that goes with it, and then at the rink, there's all the adjustments of being a pro now. So it is a big change. So it's good, it takes some people take the full year to figure it out and come back the second year a beast. But if you can, get it in those first 4 months, like it sounds like you did, and now you can be a beast the second half, like then maybe
Yeah.
you got the edge on everybody else. But has anyone on the team taken you under their wing?
Nothing particular, but like we have a bunch of like good veteran guy like Alex Petrovic is played a couple like bunch of NHL games. A really good guy. Our captain Curtis McKenzie, a really good guy. So we have a couple older guys who are good, and don't have like a lot of younger guys. Um, so but the crew is really good here, and it's fun right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And how are you guys looking this year? Are you guys any good?
Yeah, I think we're like top five in the league. So and like injury wise, like everything is fine in the organization. So I think that's why we're so consistent because our lineup didn't really change since day one here in Texas. So compared to like some team where like sometime we played those team and they're missing like 5, 6 forward, couple of demon, and you play them 2 weeks after, and all those guys are back from the NHL. So I think that's why we're so consistent right now.
And yeah, you would see how like the fluctuations of lineups in the AHL and stuff like that would have a big effect on like how teams play and stuff. Because you could have one lineup one night, and then next thing you know, a couple guys get sick and 5 guys are gone, like you said. So it would make a big difference. So is there ever nights where you guys are like, oh, perfect, like the NHL team took like 5 guys, like it should be a little bit easier on us tonight?
Um, not really, because like still like every team like show up and want to win, but at the same time like we had the best example the past weekend. We played Grand Rapids, and we beat them maybe a month ago, like in their rink, like think 6-1 and 6-1 both night. and
Mhm.
was like not even close. And we played them the last weekend, and they end up having Nedeljkovic in the net. Jacob Vrana was back. They signed Alex Cherson, and Sornik was back. So they end up like being really good, and that just showed like how a team can change so quickly. And for us, like I said, like we kind of like have the same lineup since day one. Like I don't think um more than 10 game play like a guy from Texas played up there. So I think that make a big difference. And for sure some night we're like, oh, this team like are missing a bunch of players, so let's stay ready. But we kind of like know that sometimes it's kind of like we know that we have a big advantage.
Yeah, exactly. And you would. And yeah, that's interesting. I guess it works both ways. If teams send guys down for conditioning and stuff like that. But we'll
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Texas like itself and your teammates in particular. So who would you say is the funniest guy on the team?
Um, there's a couple of funny guy. I will say Nick Camano was injured at the start of the year, and now he's back around the team. And I don't know, every time he's talking, I'm just laughing. He's so funny.
I have heard that he's an OHL guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was on Hamilton and Flint. I was just thinking we should get him on.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh, next, who's the locker room DJ?
Oh, he's it depends. Like he's my roommate here, so I'm living with Thomas Harley,
Oh, okay.
and
Uh,
he sometimes he's the DJ before the game, but I'm not a huge fan of his music. But he's playing more country. But I will say him and Ryan Shea. Yeah, Ryan.
Okay.
is he going country before a game?
Yeah, sometime he's him and Ben Gleason are putting
Mm.
some
But you know
country.
what? You guys are in Texas, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pretty acceptable there.
yeah. I know, but not before a game.
Yeah.
No, no, it's a good point. Best and worst chirper.
Uh, I will go with Antonio Strangers. Is a really good chirper. Yeah, you like to go after the vet. And the worst one. Um, I don't know. Mm, I can't tell you.
Okay. Has Stranges done anything like ridiculous this year with
Well,
like
he
his
just did that shootout move.
Yeah,
It's going
he did a
viral. Did
nice
you see it,
job.
Cars?
no, I haven't seen it yet, but like that's the thing. Like I haven't seen him like on the highlight tapes in a while, so I'm wondering where he's been.
No, he just did a nice shootout goal.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
back on the highlight. He did that. You know how Cars? Remember he would always open his hips like all the way down the ice.
Oh yeah.
So he goes in on the shootout. It kind of looks funny. I'm not gonna lie in the shootout because it's like why are you doing it in a shoot? But it worked. So he's going in straight, and next thing you know, he's going in sideways like on the guy,
Yeah.
and then he just goes like forehand, backhand, shell.
Yeah,
But
it's
he
pretty
at like full speed, and I was like, okay, it's a little unnecessary, like, but it looked cool at the end of the day, and it went
And
in, so can't complain.
yeah. He's real good at that stuff. So his edge work's incredible. Best dressed.
best dress.
You?
I'm good, but not as good as I don't know, some guys. We don't really have like a guy like I can tell like, oh, this guy like it's always like on point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um
Would you okay, different question. Would you say your style and like your clothing has gotten way better since going pro or since getting your signing money and stuff like that?
yeah, for sure. Like probably since I'm 18, like I think my clothing style like went better. So it's always easier when you can get some nice clothes. But maybe like a guy like strangers like wear
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
stuff where it's really nice. So yeah.
Is there any guy on your team that you could see being a coach after hockey?
Yeah, I think our captain Curtis McKenzie.
Okay. Just leader, just a good guy, keeps all the
Yeah,
boys in line.
leader, yeah.
Okay. And last one here on the stars and stuff. If you were stranded on an island with three other people from the Dallas Stars organization, so anyone you want, who would they be?
It's a good question. Um Probably Tofty, big guy. He's my roommate on the road. Like being with him. After that, probably Dooch. He's my only. So Justin Ducharme is the only other French guy around the team.
Okay, that
So
makes sense then.
yeah, and the other one is probably Rally Damiani. He's a guy like hanging out a lot with him.
Yeah, former guest of the podcast as well. And
Yeah. He told me. I told him I was going on the podcast, and he told me he came in the past.
yeah, he did. It was a good one. So he's a good dude. So that was that's good. Good pickings there. So we got a little this or that for you. So Rask, take her
Yeah,
away.
so I'm gonna list two options and you just pick which one you like.
Perfect.
All right. Black tape or white tape?
White tape.
Shoot first or pass first?
Um, Pass first probably.
Okay. Little hesitation. Maybe a little
I,
both.
I need to change it up a little bit. Used to pass a lot, but I think I gotta shoot more here. So, yeah. And for the tape, I put a little bit of black like in before Christmas when I was trying to figure it out, but now I'm back to white.
Okay. I also recently made the switch from black to white for the first time in my career, by the way, cards. And now I'm using fat tape now.
You
Yeah.
use it for the
Always
beer
black.
league.
For just for morning skate 3-on-3.
That's absurd.
Anyway, bar down or 5-hole?
5-0.
Oh, okay. So
I
then
like it.
Cardsy asked this one usually like are you like ripping at 5-hole or are you just like just a little deke and then slip at 5-hole?
So I can score 5-0, but like I rather see a nice 5-hole goal than a bar down goal.
Yeah, the people don't understand how hard it is to do the 5-hole.
I just feel like seeing like McDavid ripping at 5-hole or Matthews is it just like it looks so easy, but at the same time it's so hard.
That's ridiculous. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going big Selly after a goal or a quiet humble Selly?
Depends the moment. But right now probably more quiet.
Yeah. You ever pull out the heartbreaker?
No, I put the 2 knee down last year in playoff and
Oh,
hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick. Cardio or weights?
Weights,
Okay. Chocolate or candy?
candy,
Okay. Ice cream or milkshake?
ice cream.
Okay. And last one, breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast?
Probably dinner for breakfast.
Nice.
All right.
Like a nice steak when you wake up, a 16-ounce ribeye just sitting on the plate. I want to get into the fan questions now. So we got a few questions here before we let you go. So I'll get it started with our favorite and the most asked question ever. What's your stick and what's the specs on it?
To be honest, I'm not a really good guy at it. So I got the jet speed like paint right now. I'm guessing
Okay.
I got the jet speed stick too. I got the Marianosa curve from the Bauer because Marianosa didn't have this curve in the CCM. Got the like medium fat blade
Okay.
and 80 flex, and I think that's it. But I'm still waiting for my ripcore because no, not trigger. Yeah, trigger because I used to play with Bauer during my junior. I had to do a switch with CCM. So we'll probably change for the trigger.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of guys because
Yeah.
obviously you use whatever you want and then all of a sudden you got to use CCM and stuff like that. But just make it easy on yourself. Go make the stars and then you can use whatever you want again.
I know.
But if you couldn't be a pro athlete, what would you be doing?
Probably working in finance. When I
Okay.
was young, I really liked the math stuff, so I was really good at it. So I think it was probably a thing that I will have like to do in the future.
All right. That's like the gotta be the first answer we've had in that like department we're asking. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Smart answer. There's some money there. What do you like to do in your free time?
Take a nap. I think that's the best thing in the afternoon after lunch. Just taking a nap on the couch.
Like, are you going movie on, or are you just going to the couch with a mission that you're going for a nap?
I'm going on a couch that I know I'm gonna fall asleep, so I'm just scrolling to Instagram,
Yeah.
fall asleep, and wake up after that, do dinner, watch TV, and uh,
Yeah. The perfect pastime. A
yeah,
nice nap. What lessons did you learn as a person and as a leader from winning a championship?
I think it's especially like as a leader, you kind of like have to put put yourself still like worry about yourself and playing good, but at the same time like you know that if you put your priority at the good spot, like the team's gonna play good. And it took me a while to understand that. And I think when I did last year after Christmas, I just felt like my game was way better, and at the same time the team was way better. So I just felt like putting the team first. It's always easy to say like, yeah, put the team first, but you kind of like need to learn how to do it. And I think that that's what I did in my junior, and that I kind of like figure it out at the end and help a lot.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, not only for yourself, kind of frees you up as a player, but also allows the team to have success. And that's another great point for all the young listeners trying to make it. But an interesting one here that we kind of have every week. How do you eat a cupcake? So like, are you ripping the paper off, or are you going top to bottom, bottom to top? Like, how do you go about it?
Probably open in front and just take a bite on it.
Like, you're getting everything in there. You're getting some or some icing, some of the cupcake and the bottom, everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay. I like that. You got to
Attack it
have
from the
some,
side. Just go right
yeah,
at it.
have some
yeah.
contrast to it. So that's a good one. And then and lastly, who's the funniest guy you've ever played with?
Ah, I had a couple of nice teammates, but the funniest guy, um, I will say, Charles Baudouin. Played 4 years with him in junior, and he made me laugh a lot. It's not like the funniest guy, but just with like I don't know with the stuff he do, he's kind of like stupid a little bit. So he made me laugh so much in my junior.
And that's good. You always have those one guys that and like you talked about earlier, you got your groups and stuff, and one of those guys, just a good guy, makes you laugh a lot. But
Yeah.
I got a question too. Obviously, so you go to the World Juniors, it gets canceled, and then you don't play in the summer, and they end up winning gold. Does that weigh on you at all? Like, were you disappointed that you couldn't go to it and stuff like that? Or were you just like, okay, I've had enough hockey for now, I need to reset?
Um, I think if my body was ready to go and I felt ready and I didn't go, maybe I will have felt like bad about myself or stuff like that. But um, I and still like still today like I still know that I was not ready at all to go there and put myself in a position where I can perform. And I kind of like knew that if I was going there, um like I said, I was not ready. I was not even ready for the start of the season. So I was happy for the boys to win the gold medal, but at the same time my dream as a kid to wear the maple leaf at the wear the leaf at the World Junior and made the Team Canada. I think I did it at Christmas, even if my tournament got canceled. So I don't regret it at all because, like I said, I know I was not ready at all to go there.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes to show too, you can you always have the fact you did get your two games, like, or I don't know, did you got two games, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, two games. Like, the whole experience and stuff like that. It was terrible how it went down, but unfortunate that you weren't ready to go during the summer, but very valid after you played hockey for like what must have felt like a year straight. And then
Yeah.
if you hadn't tried to play that too, it would have just even messed you up even more for this first pro season, which just isn't
Uh,
worth it either.
And I think like example before Christmas, I was still not like
Yeah.
where I want to be, and I will have probably put the fault on World Junior,
Mhm.
So I think it was the best decision for me, because I think as of today it kind of like start paying off right now.
Right. Yeah. Things are coming around, and it's good to see in your game, because it does happen to a lot of young guys trying to make the pro jump, and you'll
Yeah.
find your footing, and we'll be watching you here with the Stars in the next couple months, I'm sure. So I just want to say thank you from us. That's all we have. Great to talk to you again and catch up. So it's good to hear from you. And Rask.
Yeah, just appreciate you taking the time. Super nice to meet you and chat with you. Um, and yeah, just like Cardsy said, like we're wishing you luck in this season. Hopefully you work your way to a call up and make it soon. And yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on you. So thanks for taking the time and doing this.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
And we want to thank Mav for that one. Obviously, I thought it was great. His English has come a long way since the last time I saw him back when we were only 16 years old. So that was funny too. And no, it was good. Russ?
Yeah, it was a good one. His English has also come a long way since the one brief conversation I had in Hamilton where he just goes Mavrik.
Yeah, I remember he did that at the U17 to everyone too. Everyone come on, he'd be like Maverick, and it's how you doing? Just give him a nod or something like that.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he spoke great. He was, and honestly, he was a great interview. I know some people who speak French first are a little nervous to come on, um, like English podcasts, really, because they're scared of the way they might sound or whatever it is. But he spoke great, and honestly, if he's getting into pro hockey like he is, he's going to be doing this for a long time to come. So it's good that he did that, and we're very appreciative of having him on. Um, we got some videos to react to. I'm gonna throw them on the screen here. I'll share my screen. I want to show this one, this Bedard goal, which everybody I'm sure saw from the World Juniors, where he's coming down the line. Yeah, we got to describe it. Whoa, that's kind of loud. I'll do my best to describe for the audio listeners, but coming down the line, you've seen this clip. Bedard rips it over the shoulder of the goalie.
Yeah, and he finds that window that's just so small, and not many guys can do that.
What a shot. Weirdly enough, I've seen a similar shot to that. I believe it was in this Ottawa game, right, Cards?
I do believe that something similar may have happened, although I'm not gonna say that I am as good as Bedard, but I guess sometimes you get lucky and you can find a hole in the net. And man, I was
I'm
honestly
running
like,
that back.
I'm so basically for the audio listeners, I beat out an icing and I get the puck and I'm kind of like in no man's land, just shy of the just short of the goal line, and the puck pops out to me and I'm like, okay, like there's only one place in the net that this can really go, and it's like short side bunk. And there's no other option. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a slap shot somewhere in that area and hopefully it goes in. And sure enough, the 1 out of 100 shot kind of found to the back of the net, and I looked like a genius. But
Yeah,
I mean, gotta take the bounces where you can get them.
that one was sweet. This one, another clip everybody has seen of Connor Bedard going 1-on-3 in overtime in the quarterfinals to win it for Canada.
And just to think that during an overtime period of this magnitude, with everything on the line, you're playing against a team that you should beat, and it ends up going to OT. And for him to be able to dance two guys, one being a second overall pick to the NHL, I'm pretty sure. Was that not Nemec that he dangles?
Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah, and then to undress the goalie like that and then throw the heartbreaker celebration.
Oh, the celly was
that.
so sick.
So the kid is absolutely insane, as we talked about in the show.
Yeah. Now we got two more clips. We got some Cardsy goals to look at and react to here.
And we were just talking about good bounces. I was saying sometimes you get a good bounce, and I mean I don't think bounces get any better than that one there. That's sometimes the beauty of playing at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center there in Owenstown. a lot of people hate it because the boards are so firm and stuff, but sometimes it bounces your way because the pucks are lively off the end wall there. And sure enough, I was lucky enough to find that one and bury it.
Yeah, that's a good goal. Right spot, right time. Now we got one more here from the game against Guelph. There you go, Cards. Little squeaker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, take them how you can get them. I mean, it seems like the trend is a little bit of luck in my game here, but no, I mean, you can't score if you don't shoot. So I think I kind of just walked over the line and said, you know what, I might as well have a shooting mindset, get it on the net early, test this goalie. And sure enough, got lucky with a squeaker and found the back of the net. So
That's why we shoot.
I mean, yeah, we shoot to score. And yeah, if you want to learn how to do that, don't watch me necessarily. Go watch Bedard because wow, those goals were incredible.
Yeah. Anyway, we're thinking of continuing on with some videos to react to at the end of most of the episodes. So maybe keep an eye on that. If you like it, let us know. Switch to YouTube, pump the YouTube views, subscribe, do all that good stuff. That's kind of all I have here. Cards, anything you want to say, or you take it away here, wrap it up?
No, I'm gonna rush this ending because I'm actually at my buddy's and I had a brain fart that we were doing the pod tonight, finishing it up. So my phone's at 2% right now. So I'm gonna go run and get that on a charger if I can. But you know what? My phone will always stay alive for the pod, and it just showed that it went this whole episode on 10%. So just an absolute beast out of the iPhone 13 mini there. And no, with that being said, it's a beautiful time of year. We're getting some snowfall, getting some rain, getting some slush. Who doesn't love a good slush all in their car and in their boots and stuff like that? So it's wonderful. And Rask, you guys are back at her. The Colts are looking forward to a big second half. The deadline's behind us, and it's only good days ahead. So with that being said, we'll sign off from this week.